Alright, what's going on? If you've been paying attention to recent news, you might have heard the fact that Sony is now trying to appease people by allowing crossplay and cross-platform account switching deal. I don't know, man. DLC, like what? Back in PS3, Xbox 360 days, if you bought DLC for a game, you weren't gonna get it in the other console. That's not how it worked. But now people think it is okay to buy DLC on one account, one console, and get it on the other, which is strange to say the least. I mean, first of all, it's a completely different console. I would understand if it was, the PS3 to PS4. I think that would be more acceptable. But this is just ridiculous. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I think this crossplay thing is ridiculous. I think it is a terrible idea. And people just say, it's a good thing. We're moving forward in gaming, and we can all rejoice that we get to play with people that bought a different console than us. But I digress. One of the issues that I seem to be the only one that comprehends is, I don't know if we are going to be cross-playing with PC players, but if we are, there's a lot of hackers on PC, man. Now, I don't exactly know if there is some kind of protection for us console players, but I've seen PC players, man. The amount of hacks those people use is it's like wanting to play MW2 or BO2 on your newest console. And I'm saying these servers as of right now, not in new servers, the servers full of hacks right now. So nobody wants that. I don't know why people think it's a good idea. But that's just considering, playing with PC players. That would be one of the issues. Moving on to the next one, which is mouse and keyboard. If you don't understand the issue of a mouse and keyboard against a controller, I'll try to explain it to you. It is easier to use and more accurate than using analog sticks. If you want to go to the left, you press left. If you want to go to the right, you press right. If you want to look to the left, you swing your little mouse to the left. If you want to look to the right, you swing your little mouse to the right. Now, when you get used to the sensitivity, when you get used to the mouse distance that has to travel in order for you to do a 180, it is pretty OP, I guess you could say. Now with the controller, it's different, because if you have a very high sensitivity, you can't be accurate, unless you've played for a very, very, very long time with that sensitivity, which is usually isn't the case. But let's say you have, you're still not going to be as accurate as a person with a mouse and keyboard. Now, the argument that mouse and keyboard users use is, you guys have aim assist. But even with aim assist, you're still not going to be as accurate as somebody with a keyboard and mouse. There's just no comparison. For example, I used to play Fortnite, and this is one of the reasons I stopped. It's because, one time I was shooting this dude with a whatever the little green gun is. I don't remember the name, but the point is he 180'd, right? He did a 180-degree turn, and he quickscoped me, basically, and he killed me with one shot with a sniper. Now, I had never seen a controller user do that. Usually what happens is they 180, shoot, they miss, and they die. However, this time he killed me. And at first I smiled. I was like, that was pretty good, right? Usually when something like that happens to me, instead of being mad, I smile because I can't do that, right? So it's nice to see people who are more skilled than me, which I don't want to sound arrogant, but kind of usually never happens. And that's just, it's not because I'm good or anything. It's just I've been playing since I was a kid, so I just have more experience. So when I see somebody do something like that, it makes me happy. I don't know. And I started spectating him, and I noticed he had 17 kills. And at that point, I didn't know how to feel, and the more I watched him, the more I realized this dude had connected a keyboard onto his PS4. Through adapters and all that stuff, you can connect your PS4, and that's what he did. And that's how he was so good. He was using a keyboard, and that was a big issue for me. And I started noticing more and more people, later on, not on the same day, just later on, the next couple weeks, next month, I started noticing more keyboard users. And that's when I completely decided to stop playing the game, because you just can't compete with somebody who at long range can pick you off more precisely than someone with a controller. Analog sticks are not as easy to control as a little mouse that you can move around. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. And aim assist, what aim assist does at long range is just slow down your scope around the person. And even then, it can mess you up sometimes, and you end up missing your shot because your scope slowed down. So it's just not on the same level. And now Xbox wants to allow keyboards on the Xbox, and that is terrible, because crossplay was only good if you all are basically on the same level. But if people are using keyboards, then you're not on the same level. You're not. I'm sorry if you're a keyboard user and you think aim assist is a cheap way of cheating, but compared to using a keyboard against controllers, it's not. Trust me. I myself don't like aim assist. However, everybody has it, so it's a fair deal. However, keyboards are more accurate, like I said, and controllers are not as accurate. Xbox wants to add keyboards, so now people will buy keyboard instead of scuffs and all that garbage. And that's a big issue. If I wanted to play against keyboard users, I would play on a PC. I play on console because I like using a controller. It feels better to me. It's what I am accustomed to. I I've used the keyboard before, for gaming. It just it doesn't have the same effect. I don't enjoy it. It's not hard or anything. I think I played Halo 1, the first one. I played it on a PC and I played PvP, and it just wasn't enjoyable. I didn't do bad, even though I wasn't, too into first person shooters at the time. I didn't do terrible, but it just wasn't enjoyable. It just felt bland. Controllers are different, because you're holding them and it vibrates and all this stuff. It kind of feels like, I don't know, it just feels better in my opinion. And so that's why I don't play on PC. If I wanted to use a keyboard, I would play against keyboard users, but I don't know. And I have a feeling that, once, people start realizing what is going to happen eventually, that everybody's going to want to start using keyboards because it's an unfair advantage, and everybody wants to be on the same, playing field. And I think everybody's going to want to start using keyboards, and it's just, I feel like we're not headed in a good direction. What is the point of having a different console if everybody's going to play with it? It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you think crossplay is a good idea, and if you're a keyboard user, do you think using a keyboard is on the same level as aim assist? And if you're a controller user, do you want to play against keyboard users? Had you even thought about that yet? If you are pushing for crossplay, did you think it through, or did you just get on the hype train and ask for it? That's been it for me. I'll see you guys next time if you stick around.